Greetings fellow members of the Esoteric Order of Gamers, joy of unboxing time, and today I've got the starter set, yes, Adeptus Titanicus the Horus Heresy, the game of titanic battles in the Age of Darkness. This is very exciting. This is the new version of Adeptus Titanicus. If I can reach over here, I can show you. Here it is. 1988 was the year. I was about 23 and this came out, Adeptus Titanicus. And I've got to say, look at that cover. It makes the new one look pretty boring, really. I think this old one is amazing. Check out that logo. It does not muck around. This was pre-computer times too, so that was all hand done. Beautiful stuff. Adeptus Titanicus was one of my favourites back in the day. In fact, I've just done a comprehensive rules summary and reference for this version of the game and the second version that came out afterwards in some fanzines, some Games Workshop run fanzines. So I've done a whole lot of stuff on the original version. So why, do you ask, am I getting the new version? Well, of course there are huge robots to contend with, but they're really expensive. My goodness, they cost a lot of money. But I saw this starter set come up. I was talking to Mike Hutchinson the other day who made Gaslands. He said he was playing it. And I'm also in touch with James Hewitt, who is the designer, or at least one of the designers. I'm not sure if he shared that honour. On Adeptus Titanicus, and I greatly respect his work as well. So everything points to this being really good. Check it out. You get quite a lot in the starter set. I mean, really, considering how much these things cost to buy individually, this is really good value. Whether you think the cost of these individually is really good value or not is, well, that's a relative question, isn't it? Depends how much money you've got coming in. I haven't got a huge amount coming in, but I thought I'd splurge anyway and get it. So let's check it out, see what's inside the starter set box. And of course, now I've pulled the pin, I'll be looking at those individual extra robots that you can buy with a greedy eye, because once you're sucked in, there's no getting out. Here's some plastic. These are the aforementioned very expensive robots. You've got 2 Reapers, 2 Warhounds, and some Knights. Knights are sort of smaller, kind of the size of normal figures, but of course this is a different scale, so they're huge in that terms. And look at this. Well, there's quite a lot of plastic in here. That's pretty impressive stuff. Quite a lot of plastic. Good old templates there. Piece of cardboard to protect the rest of the stuff. Here's the rulebook and some banners, which are sort of play sheets for each one of the giant robots. And some other stuff down here. It's a nice pack of dice. Let's check all this out. Well, you certainly get a generous amount of dice. I can't fault them for that. They're in this lovely bronze finish and they're quite spectacular. Look at those. Really nice. These are the bases for the 2 Reavers and 2 Warhounds. And there's a couple more for the Knights. So in here I believe we have the little book for putting these things together. Or in fact this is just for putting the Reaver Battle Titan together. And there's the one for the Warhound. There's one for the Knights. So you can see what they look like. They're pretty impressive figures. Certainly a far larger scale than the original Titanicus figures. These are all the bits. Quite a bit of construction involved. Look at that. Wow. Oh look. Oh, I'm getting excited already. This is going to be great fun. There's the Warhound Scout Titan. You get 2 of those as well. That's how you put that one together. Very impressive looking figure. Very dog-like. Hence the name, Warhound. And Imperial Cerastus or Carastus Knights. And there's the instructions for that. Nice stuff. We've got a range ruler. There's a small deck of cards here. And these appear to be weapon cards. These are Inferno guns, Mega Bolters, all the different weapons they have. It's a disabled side, and then there's another side with the information. And the design theme is very much this kind of old-fashioned, well, it's almost like something out of Aliens computer interfaces, isn't it? That sort of light text on black. Nice. Next up there's this deck of large cards called Stratagems. Oh wait, there's something different down there. What's that? Mission objectives. There's a couple of mission objectives. And again, that old style computer readout look. looks nice. Battlefield assets as well. You get some battlefield assets in the plastic sprues. Nice. These look like a couple of reference sheets. Of course, I'll be making my own summary and reference. Of course. But they're nice to have. And down the bottom, there are some transfers. Little symbols you can stick all over your giant robots. I'm really going to have to think about the colour schemes. I have no idea how I'm going to paint them. These are the reference sheets for the robots, and they're quite complex looking. Obviously you put weapons in there, slots, which is nice. There we go. That's nice, nicely illustrated. They're the two Warhound Titans. There's a couple of sheets for the Reavers. Oh, this is lovely. And then finally two for the Knights. And it looks like they have baked in weapons. And I'm bucking my usual trend here and looking at the rulebook last. We've got this soft cover rulebook. And ooh, there's some nice ideas for paint jobs. And this looks great. Look at those blueprints. Beautiful. That's the Warlord one, which is the much larger one. That, wow, they're about 180 NZ each here. Very expensive. But look at the table. Wow. I mean, that is an impressive setup. It's really quite stunning. So there are all the rules and the background and all the rest of it. And, oh, look, good colour scheme ideas. Optional rules, more colour schemes. Heaps to look at in there. Looks like there are scenarios as well. Wow. Lovely. Now, this particular sprue seems to have these templates on it. So some nice objectives. And this is some kind of template as well. More objectives. These probably have guns sitting on them, things like that. As usual, oh look, there are some nice counters there with numbers on them. As usual, the detail is just exceptional. Games Workshop figures, of course, you know, are just beautifully done. Really top of their class. So that's a nice looking sprue. And then all the rest of them are the actual robots themselves. And as you know, this is Horus Heresy stuff. And an interesting tidbit, if you didn't know this, is that the original Adeptus Titanicus, because it made plastic models and they could only afford one type of plastic model. And let me show you. This was the design of the original Adeptus Titanicus figures. Of course, you put arms in there with weapons and things. But they could only afford one mould for this. So in the box you get a few of these. And so they came up with the whole concept of the Horus Heresy, which is loyalists against traitors. So you could have the same type of giant robot, just painted different ways. So back in the day, I painted the bad guys this colour, and for the good guys I had this sort of camouflage pattern, which is, I think it's pretty impressive for its time. That was a long time ago I painted these. But as you can see, the same sculpt. And a totally different scale, of course, as you can see just by the base of the new ones. So that's how the Horus Heresy started, which now, of course, is a staple of Warhammer 40,000 lore. And by the way, here's the original Reaver. This is a metal figure from back in the day. Certainly design similarities with the new version. If you look at the new one there, you can see still got a bit of the same feel. But of course, that was 1988. That was what, 33 years ago. Wow, feeling old. Some very nice detailing on some of these sprues. Some impressive looking guns. Well, there you go, the new Adeptus Titanicus. This is just the starter set, and I'll have to spread out the purchases to expand this over a long period of time so it doesn't hurt my wallet so much, but I'm really looking forward to having some giant robots marching around on my battlefield and trying out this new version. I've heard it's really, really good. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. Of course, check out this channel. There are hundreds more videos to watch. Not just unboxings, there are tutorials and battle reports and all kinds of things. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the all notifications button while you're there. And of course, I'm on Twitter and Facebook and all that stuff, and I've got my own website. And of course, on the website you will find hundreds, about 367 or something at last count, rules summaries and reference sheets for all of your favourite games. You can download them, print them out and laminate them, stick them in your box. You'll never have to look at the rulebook again. If you enjoy all the stuff I do, please consider backing me on Patreon. I'm on patreon.com/esotericorder, and all help is very gratefully received. Thanks for watching. I will see you next time. Now I'm off to build some giant robots.